And let me share my screen. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Last lesson we have talked about paging. Then we have talked about views. You are not responsible in the exam views since this is mostly given for extra information. You should know about them. Virtual tables, again, the same. The scalar functions, it is the functions we are using in the SQL. We can create custom or user-defined functions, but they are not important. We have this string functions, look at them and write them in your cheat sheet and look at them which are necessary. In some question you may need them. Mathematical functions, again, same. This idea is the same. Most of them you don't have to write even since they are obvious. Okay. Date and time function, again, you are not responsible for them. Window functions, we have talked about them, but this is an advanced topic. Let me show it to you here. SQL introduction. Here, SQL knowledge from where group by join having subqueries and window functions is among the advanced knowledge. Therefore, I will not be asking this window functions queries. JSON function is the same. Again, you should know about their existence, but in the exam it is not included. Stored procedure, again, you should know about the stored procedure, but in the exam it is not included. Trigger is the same, but insert, update, delete. Okay. We have this insert, update, delete examples. We can use this insert as a table name, then values, then insert into place values. We can use insert into default values. We can insert using multiple values. These are basic stuff. And we have this insert into customer, for example, select statement. Again, these are basic stuff. I don't know even if I wanted to, how could I include insert, update, delete statement in the exam? But these are basic and you are responsible for them. Update is the same. Okay. For update and delete, okay, you should first select the how many rows you are updating or how many you are deleting. Then you should run your queries. For example, here, okay, in my Chinook database, let's say I would like to update a table and starting with the A. Here I see that the first rows, these 3 rows, I am changing. Then if I select these rows, okay, I will see that I am updating this Astrid, Alexandra, and Aaron. And if I run this query, okay, then I will change their names. Okay, then I will select it again. Here, okay. Their stay, as you can see, deneme. I have updated their stay. It is the same. I can delete the employees and others. Again, if we are changing or deleting multiple rows, we need to select how many rows we are changing. Truncate table, this is not in the SQLite. Therefore, you are not responsible, but it is a faster way of deleting everything in the table. Okay. We have data definition language. We have talked about them: create table, create trigger, create index, and create view. But again, it is hard to ask something like this in an exam situation. And we have data control language. In the SQLite, we don't have anything, but we can create users and others in the Oracle and SQL Server. And lastly, transactional control language. This is important, okay? I will be asking a question similar to this transaction control, as I said in this draft plan, okay? Database design question from UI1, database design question from Excel 1, transaction, that is this transaction control language, okay? Then similar to SQL midterm exam, I will be asking other SQL questions. Therefore, let us go over from this transaction part. The transaction means that, okay, I am starting an operation, and when this operation running, okay, the other operations, I am isolated from the other operations. Let's see this example. How can I show the example? I can show, first of all, one. Okay, cd databases, go to this one, and let's say SQLite 3, Chinese SQLite, okay? And also, let me show this here. And let me open a new SQL editor, new SQL script, file, save as, this one, and let me write transaction here. Okay. Here, to be able to show the transaction, I need to show two users. One user will be this SQLite command line. The second user this DB viewer. Okay. I can of course use two different command lines. I can use two different DB viewer, but using the two different user interface will be so much better. Okay, let us show this one. Okay, for example, select count star from customer. Okay, and let me put the same query to here, and again 59, no problem. Okay, let us come to customer and let me generate SQL and insert statement. Okay, and copy this one and put it here. Since if I look my customer and look this data properties, I only need to enter first name, last name, and email. Okay, the customer ID is auto number, therefore I don't need to enter. Then I can write something like this in my transaction part. I can delete everything apart from email and apart from this support representation ID. I don't need customer ID also, since I'm putting this information, it is an auto number. Let's say Atilla Özgür. Okay, and I don't need other information, Atilla at abu.com, let's say. Okay, this will enter an information to my database. Any questions up to here? Okay, then here, let me start. It is more easy to simulate here. Therefore, I am starting here. Begin transaction. Okay. Then let me put this code here. Run it here. And here, select start from. Again, let me run. Select from customer here. The customer. Why? I already inserted a customer here. But if I run this customer here, okay, this one is 59. Why 59? Till I commit this transaction or roll back this transaction, the information what I am doing here will not be visible to this DB viewer part. This is the transaction. Since I am working with the customer, let me put this information again here. Instead of Attila, let me try to put Aydın Özgür and insert into and start here. Okay. Okay and okay. And run this query. Okay, it is waiting, and a little bit later, it will give me an SQLite view. Database file is logged. Why database file is logged? Since right now in the left-hand side, I am locking this customer table and the customer SQLite file. And while I am running this transaction, the others will not be able to come and write anything. They will be able to read it like here, or let's say, let me read from customer table. Okay. I can run these commands. I can see the customer and the other information, but I will not be able to see this other part. I can, for example, run this query. I have update customer. Okay, this query, and instead of deneme, let me write in transaction. Okay, I am updating customer in this transaction. I edit the customer. I am putting this one. Okay, here if I open the SQLite and select from customer again. Okay, this city information. Let me put this information also here. Okay, here as you can see, the city information is deneme. But if I run this same query in this transaction part, this box, and let me make this bigger so that it will be more readable, or let me read only first name and city information, since this is what I am interested. As you can see here, it is written in the transaction. If I use this commit transaction command, everything what I did in this transaction will be written to the database. And the others will be see what I have changed. But if I do not use commit transaction, but rollback transaction, like here, okay, when I run these commands, okay, insert is not happened. This change to city in transaction is not happened. Okay, and here also, as you can see, this city information is like before. Okay, transactions works in isolation, and till I roll back or commit transaction, okay, I will not be able to see the change what I did to the customer table or the other tables. Any questions about this transaction topic? Okay, no question. Then this is the most important part in our database. And this, if you understand this topic, okay, you should be able to solve this question. We have talked about this topic from the database theory perspective. We have atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability perspective. What are they? While I am working with this begin transaction and commit transaction part, okay, when I commit something, okay, this part, even though this two is the two different comment, one update and second update comment, since they are between begin transaction and commit transaction, they are taught as an atomic comment. They either succeed as whole or failure as a whole. This is the first part in the automaticity. Consistency means that if this commands works and if they are successful, the database will be in the again consistent states. If they are failed, they will be rolled back again. They will be in a consistent state. Isolation means that what I have shown you in this example before, my DB viewer in one session, my SQLite command line in the second session, and these both are isolated from each other and their commands work differently from each other. And durability means that when I commit a transaction, even my database crashes, my operating system crashes, electricity went away, power is gone away. Even if, let's say, apart from the storage error, everything will be durable and they will be stored in the hard disk. This is the second part. And again, it is an important one. We have talked about isolation perspective. For our purposes, SQLite work with the serializable perspective, and we have talked about this repeatable read committed, and read uncommitted perspective in our database, and this how they should work. Okay. And we have talked about this database concept of pages. Everything in the database is in the pages. It is important since it may make your database work faster. We have talked about SQL journal modes and show differences. For our purposes, it should work with the journal mode WoW since it is faster. Export and import data, I have shown you examples, but again, this is, you are not responsible in the exam. Backup restore, I have shown you some example. Again, you are not responsible in the example. Database design, today in the first lesson, we have talked about and shown two examples about the database design. First of all, I would like to go over these parts and finish today's lessons. This natural key and synthetic key or surrogate key we have talked about, okay? How you will decide and how you will put. We have talked about the auto number identity and shown examples. This primary key, UOIT or GUIT, again, we have talked about it. This is again not so much important, but you should know about them. We have talked about a little bit these database design patterns. We have talked about data types. A lot of the data types are similar. For the SQLite, we have this null, integer, real, text, and blob data types. Okay, first of all, these data types may not be very important, but in the database design, they are very important. And I will expect you to, okay, put correct data types if I am asking in the questions in the database design. Let's say I have asked you to create, how can I use, for example, this user interface, okay? Let's say we are creating a user interface. Let's say this simple user interface, okay? And this invoice, what should be the data type for the invoice?
Decimal numbers.
But here, if we are working with SQLite, normally, if we are working with the SQL Server or Oracle, we have this decimal, numeric, exact numeric types, okay? And invoice should be one of them, either money, numeric, decimal, or this one, or small money, money. But in the SQLite, if it is invoice, we can either put real, but the problem with the real is it is a floating point. Therefore, it is not exact. I have shown you a demo about this Java program, if you may remember. Okay. Therefore, the money part should not be stored in the real. Either you can put them in the text and handle them in the backend programming. Okay. Or you can handle them with this integer part and do some other arithmetic with them. But putting them in the real some money is not a good idea. And therefore, if we are doing this database design and others, I will expect you to choose this null, integer, real, text, and block values accordingly. And for example, put some, let's say, notes why you have chosen these values. We have talked about SQL constraints, primary key, foreign key, unique, not null, and default value constraints. This not null and default value, again, it will be important when you are giving me your database design answer, especially not null. Okay. Most of the time, default values could not be given or could not be decided, but not null should be possible. Okay. Then we have seen this database design from user interfaces. If you are not in the first lesson, you can look at this database interface, database design user interface question. I solved this question. Okay, this one, and I will be putting answer to this one today and sending a message. We did database design from spreadsheets and did the normalization. Again, the normalization part, I have changed the notes and fixed the notes. You can look over that. And also this normalization lesson is there. Then with this part, I think everything is finished. I went over everything. If you have questions, please ask. Otherwise, I went over with this question. Okay. This one in the lesson, this one also recorded, transaction example also recorded. For this midterm SQL questions, yeah, we have went over SQL and solved some question. I will be putting this example questions also there in today's lessons. You can look at them, but that's it. Any questions about the lesson or feedback? Please, Bartu.
Hocam örnekleri gösterdiniz ya, bunları örnek sınav olarak mı yükleyeceksiniz yoksa örnek sınav diye başka bir şey daha yükleyecek misiniz?
I will not be giving example questions. This is what I will be giving to you. These examples I did, I will be putting like the others, okay? If you may remember this code example from lessons, okay? You will see these code examples and I will be putting them in the website, GitHub website. And you can see these examples I did today, this and this, but I will not be putting anything more.
Tamam hocam, teşekkür ederim.
This draft final exam questions also you can see in the website. This is here. Okay. If you would like to work, study, I suggest that see the recording of the lesson 1 and lesson 2. Okay, especially database design. Then look at this transaction. The other parts is obvious. Okay. The SQL part is obvious. I will ask some questions and the questions will be right now most probably 99%, maybe more. It will depend on Chinese. I will ask a question. I will ask something like the last lesson. Please give me this information given these tables. You could prepare cheat sheet. Please prepare your cheat sheet, handwritten cheat sheet. I will be also giving this announcement in the Teams, but that's it. Any other question? I think for me this is it. Then let's see in the exam, I should say. If you do not have any more questions, please leave so that I can put the recording in the system.
Görüşürüz hocam.
Thank you for everything,
Thank you,
sir.
hocam. Thank you,
Have a
hocam.
nice day.
Have a nice day. See you in the exam.
See you, hocam.